So, you are thinking of recording mixtapes, or this is something that you're already doing, and you're wondering how to make them memorable, how to make them stand out. Well, this is an important question, definitely, because mixtapes have become more and more important, especially nowadays with just YouTube and people discovering new artists online. And if you really want to stand out, you need to figure a way to make your mixes more memorable than all the other ones out there. And yeah, there are some ways to do this, some strategies. Like, of course, you're still playing with the same music, but the way you approach it, it really makes all the difference in the world. And that's what we're here to talk about. So what's up, guys? My name is Mats, and I've been a DJ for about the past 11 years now. I think I've been on a hiatus for about 2 years now, mostly because of some family issues, some stuff that happened, and I'm trying to get back into the game and see if I can actually make it big, to get my career off the ground. And this whole video series is about following me along on this journey as I share a lot of the insights that I get. And hopefully these will get more valuable if my career starts taking off. And it's all for you to be able to do the same thing. So if that's something you like, please follow me along. Now, mixtape. What is a mixtape exactly? That's the first question we should be asking. Well, it's different from a live set, of course. And I think, especially if you're comparing like the word set to mixtape, then set is mostly something that people are using to describe a live performance, while a mixtape is something that you're usually recording when you're at home or at your friend's place or in the studio, but just something where it's just you and your DJ controller and your mixer with records, could be possible as well, and you're just doing your own thing. So that makes it a little bit different, of course, from a live performance, because in a live performance you're quite usually having to interact with the crowd a bit more, play the kind of songs that vibe with the people that are there. And it's a bit more experimenting, a bit more like feeling what works best at that moment. But if you're recording a mixtape at home, you're able to make it like perfect in a sense. Well, as good as it could be, because you're getting to pre-fill all the tracks behind each other. You're getting to practice the perfect transitions. And there's just no distractions. So a mixtape is basically when you're trying to get the perfect recording of you playing, just to showcase what you can do, to showcase your unique style as a DJ, your musical choices, and the transitions that you are making. So that's a little bit of what a mixtape is. And especially nowadays, it's become more and more important to have these mixtapes online, because on the one hand it's very scalable. That's something that I talk about in a few of these other videos as well, that if you're just making these mixtapes, then if they really like get off the ground and start going viral, then you can suddenly get a much bigger audience than you can ever just get by playing live in front of people. So that's a big advantage. It's a really big way that people are discovering new artists nowadays, especially back in the old days. It's just, you could send mixtapes to maybe bookers or promoters or other DJs just to let them know what's up, to let them show you, let you show them your stuff, and maybe they'll book you for a live event. But nowadays mixtapes are really a good way of like getting and gaining an audience as well. And especially as a DJ, there's like basically two sides of it. You're on the one hand quite often making your own music, which is one coin of one side of the same coin of being a DJ, and the other side of the coin is usually like the live performances, the transitions, the journey you are taking your audience on. And the funny thing about this is that you usually see the difference, in the sense that some DJs are really good at making the music, other DJs are really good at playing live, at doing the actual DJing. And yeah, especially if you're having these DJ duos, then usually like one is just a lot better at one thing and the other is just better at the other thing. That's what you find a lot, at least. But anyways, like for mixtapes, it's become very important, and it's a real good way to showcase just what you're doing, how you do it, what your style is, and what people can expect from you, basically. And if you're actually wanting to get booked, then it's very, very important to have the right kind of mixtapes online, because yeah, a booker, they really want to know that you know your stuff. Like I said before, there's like two sides to DJing, and these bookers, like quite often they find that when they book someone that's just making this really cool music and that's blowing up through that, but they haven't played as much in front of live crowds, then that can be quite disappointing when they're actually standing behind the decks. And especially if you're not making music at all, then and you're just like playing live and recording these mixtapes, it becomes even more important to get this right. So how do you make your mixes more memorable? Well, I think the most important way to look at this, the most important way to approach it, is to create a musical journey, a showcase of what you can do, but you need to take your audience along a path of emotional experiences that they have with the music. And this requires a careful consideration of how you want to structure the whole mix in total, because yeah, especially like if you're looking at just one song by itself, then this already has like low points and high points and just transitions and like going from very high intense like beats with just a very big memorable like melody, to just these soft flowing bridges where you're giving the crowd like a moment to recollect, a moment to just notice how they are feeling, you know. It's just, especially when you're taking them along, this should be something that you're trying to do as well. And yeah, with the right kind of songs in the right kind of order, you can really create this journey, and that is basically what you should be going for. And yeah, especially like if in creating this journey, you should definitely take note that although as a DJ you might want to really focus on just the coolest transitions or the coolest tricks that you can be doing, it's quite often not the best way to create this journey. Like I've noticed as well that when I'm trying to do these really cool tricks, then most of the time it's just, I'm just trying to be cool, you know, but trying to be cool and actually giving like the right kind of like musical experience to your audience are two completely different things, and they don't necessarily have to clash, but they quite often do. So that's definitely something that you should keep in mind. But yeah, you should be creating this journey, and that means that it should be music that at least at some points during your mix should be emotionally touching, that it should be like generating these feelings in your audience. And yeah, the best way to see if you're actually hitting the right spot is to like really attentively listen to your own mixes as well. You know, if you're being taken along and if you're just enjoying it yourself, then it's a much better indication of that it's actually going in the right direction than when it's not. Because especially when you're in the moment and you're doing your own thing and you're just DJing and you're going from one song to the next, you're having a completely different experience from actually listening to this same mixtape and not DJing at all, because you're taking a more backseat, you're listening along instead of actively participating, and this creates a whole different experience. So yeah, that's something that I recommend a lot if you're actually trying to get better at making these mixtapes, is to really listen to them. And if you get bored halfway through, then yeah, then it means that there's more like structuring or restructuring that you need to do to get it more right. But yeah, okay, so the way I usually approach creating a whole mix of like say an hour long, then you should really have a killer intro. That's for sure. A killer intro is a must, because especially when people are looking online at mixtapes right now, if you're not like catching their attention in the first couple minutes, then they're just gonna click off. So make sure that you start off on the right note, with the right kind of song, I would even say. And yeah, this song has to have an impact. It's basically like making a promise about what the rest of your mix is gonna be like. So although it's not meant to be going to the highest point of your mix, but it should be at least a high point. So that's something that I really suggest you do, to just start off high. And that doesn't mean that the song needs to, like from the first second to that it's beginning, go completely full in energy, but that the song at least should have the feeling of just one of the high notes in your mix. And after giving your audience, giving your listener this promise of what's going to come, you should go back down. That's at least that's how I usually like to approach a mix. And then you're just, from that moment, you're starting like on a more lower energy level, and you're just trying to take them up once again and going through these high points and low points, and slowly like going more and more, yeah, crazy, I would say. Like, and of course I find it a bit fake to put it into like real words, but that's also because you can go so many different ways in approaching this. And yeah, especially when you're playing different kinds of music, then of course the template for how you're structuring your mixtape is going to be different. But yeah, I really want to give you like the advice that when you're playing a certain kind of music, say techno or drum and bass or trance or even EDM, it should start off on a high point, go lower, and then after that you're going to slowly like up the energy, the feeling of your whole mix. And this means that during this hour or 2 hour long time period, you're gonna slowly be increasing the overall energy and like the overall intensity of your music. So the biggest bangers, they should never be at the beginning, although you should still have good bangers or good songs at the beginning, but you should just take it along and make sure that you're having these breathing spaces as well in between, and just, yeah, like I said, listen to it after you finished it, and then if you're getting bored halfway through, just try it again. Like, I thought I would be giving you more insights, but I'm finding this more difficult than I thought it would be to just put this into the perspective. But yeah, it's just something that takes a lot of practice, and believe me, at some point it will start to make more sense to you. But yeah, just listening to a lot of big DJs and comparing your own stuff to their stuff, and then maybe even what you could do is like downloading their full track lists of the live performances or mixes they're putting online, and just practicing with that. And of course, it's in the beginning very difficult to make your mixes sound like professional DJs, but you'll slowly start to figure it out. Yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope this helps a little bit, and I'll see you in the next time. Cheers.